Hi, I'm Sutchin's Ravi Somanathan, and welcome back to the second edition of the Mysteries of the Macrocosm podcast. Today we have Scott Nguyen, outspoken conservative and God, on our podcast today.
Yes.
Today we're going to be talking about politics, science, dreams, everything.
Yeah,
that we
Sutchin,
can.
what do you have to say?
All right, so before the podcast starts, our sponsor today is NordVPN.
I don't think you could say that.
What about
I don't think
Dashlane? What about
wait.
Dashlane? Dashlane's also sponsoring
In case
this.
you don't know what a VPN is. Okay, but actually before the podcast starts, Eric, don't be an awkward kid, alright?
Sutchin,
pretty much-
Sutchin, the
actually.
podcast has started.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before
Yeah, I
we
can tell if you're
we
joking
start
or not.
talking
Alright,
about
come on,
stuff.
let's go.
Alright, so, most people can't recall this. Most people
No.
can't recall, for example, what was the last dream they had.
Yeah.
But tell me your most memorable dream
Alright.
that you know of.
Alright, so there was this one dream I get like every single time I'm sick and I went to take a nap. So here's how it played out. I remember I would just be like at SeaWorld for some reason.
Wait,
and
can I pause you for
what?
1 second?
Yeah, what?
Okay, so I'm not talking about the last dream you had. I'm talking about the last memorable dream that you have.
Yeah, this is the
I
last
have one.
Yeah?
It's really scary. It's really weird. But you continue.
Alright, so anyways, this dream I remember in like vivid detail. So I would just be like falling down this drain pipe, right? And it would be super narrow. And I'd just be falling and falling and falling, and then eventually I wake up. I had this dream every single time I'm sick. Then it just stopped when I was like 11 or something, but I just remember it. It's like the most memorable dream I have.
Memorable.
Oh, memorable. Shut up.
Go.
Go!
This is actually a Christian podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
Is it, though?
I must confess
Okay,
my
so-
sins to the high
alright,
priest.
so the most memorable recent dream that I've had is probably okay. So I was at school, right?
Yeah?
And I wasn't
Wait,
naked.
were you
I
sleeping
was,
in class? Oh, okay.
No, I don't care about that. So I wasn't naked, but I was in this robe,
Yeah.
right? And it
Okay.
just kept falling off. It was way too big for me, and I don't know why, but everything I carried felt really, really heavy in that dream. I could barely move, and
Yeah.
running, it was like 10 times harder. So I was like coming down the stairs, right?
Yeah.
And there were like 2 minutes left in class.
Yep.
So I ran all the way there, and so I like for some reason all my 6th grade teachers were in the 7th grade village,
Yeah? Weird.
and so I went up to Miss Weiss,
Yeah.
or usually which was my math teacher, but I went. It was in Mr. Prout's room,
What? Alright.
Okay.
and she was like, "Dude, you're late." How she normally talks, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then everything turned into this really like gloomy castle place, and there were all these monsters around. And then it turned back, and I went to Mr. Donnelly's class,
Yeah.
and I went there, and then I realized I left my backpack at the other side of the school, so I ran really hard, but it felt like I was running through this like thick mud. So as soon as I got my backpack and came back, I was late. And then my freaking robe fell off, right?
Yeah.
And I was
Right.
so embarrassed, and then I woke up.
That's nice.
Okay.
That's pretty
For
nice,
me?
you know?
So, like, I was in the dream, and I was like, wait, I thought it was Saturday. Why am I at school?
Oh, those
my
days.
God.
Oh my god. Dude, I
Yeah,
woke
and
up,
then
I
I'm
woke,
like-
yeah?
How do I get out of this? Like, I try running out of school, but the principal's like, yo, dude, where you going? And I'm like, it's Saturday. Why the hell am I here? Or can I say
So-
hell? I can say
No,
hell.
you have
No,
to say
no, this
heck.
is a Christian server.
Why the heck am I here?
Yeah?
I checked my phone. It says Saturday, and the time's just weird. And then, like, I end up going to class, like, whatever. This is what I have to live with now. And I sit down, and then my alarm wakes me up.
Okay, so here.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
I have
so-
two things. I have another really, really memorable dream that scared the hell out of me. Okay. Oh, I mean, heck. Oh, come
Heck.
on. Okay.
Sutchin, I'm gonna have to ban you from the street.
So I've noticed that my perception of time while dreaming is vastly different than my perception of time
yeah.
while awake. So one
Right.
time I woke up, it was 6:15, right before my alarm went off. It's like, all right, I'll doze off. So I went to bed and I had this crazy long dream. I woke up, I thought it had been hours, and I looked, it 10 minutes went by. 10 minutes.
I mean, they say like right before you die, your life flashes before your eyes in 6 seconds. Maybe, like it's like that. Except, how would I describe it? You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get exactly what you're trying to say, but
okay.
So you guys know what lucid dreams are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were talking
I'm
about
not
that
talking
last
about
week.
cringy 14-year-old kid song. I'm talking about a dream where you can control anything and you're still dreaming. So you can do anything.
You were talking about a lucid. You were talking about how you were trying to make that dream a lucid dream
I
last
was
week.
on the verge of happening. Hey, so what I do is like randomly, I'll just count my fingers and then look around and ask myself if I'm in a dream, and that's never happened inside one of my dreams, which sucks. But so one day I was just dreaming, and I was having this crazy dream. And the night before, I was listening to music on my headphones, and like, on the specific set of headphones, and they were Bluetooth. They were red.
Yeah, I think you were talking about this last week on the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, all right.
And like,
we're doing repeats now.
Shut up.
So we're trying to get content.
Alright, so I woke up on the dinner table, same headphones on, but no music, and the music was really soft. And I woke up, I was like, oh shoot, I gotta go to school. So I had breakfast, and halfway through eating, I was like, oh my god, I'm still dreaming! And I kind of said it to myself in real life, but after that, I couldn't control it, and my mind just started going crazy and making up all this random stuff. I couldn't control it.
Right. Do you ever have those dreams where it feels like it's so real that you don't think it's a dream and you think you're actually
dude, last week I had one of those dreams. Like I was at Harvard and I was graduating from a PhD, and for some reason there was like a progress bar that I could check how far I was in through college, and I was at like 87%, and I was like, dude, I'm about to graduate Harvard with a PhD.
Bro, you finish Harvard, achievement gotten. And you just look at the top right corner of the screen and are like, yes.
Yes.
And
then I woke up and I was sad. I was honestly depressed.
Bro, but you can't get that achievement. Getting away.
Alright.
Wow, no laughs.
So I mean,
it was a bad joke anyway. Never mind.
Okay, so Harvard is racist against Asians mainly.
Oh yeah.
So if they let every single Asian that actually passes in, then 49% of the school.
Okay, so here's what happened. This case went all the way up to the Supreme Court at the time.
Yeah.
And what it was Harvard noticed that there were too many Asians in their class, and people were saying, "Oh, it's racist to say that Asians are good at math and things," but it is not racist. It's true. Asians are very hardworking people. There are thousands of statistics to back this up, yet some people just won't let it go that it's a stereotype.
I mean, why do you think that is? Asians are hardworking people.
You can't
mainly
agree
because they're all immigrants and they're like, okay, I've sacrificed so much to get here.
Yeah.
You work hard or I'm gonna kill you.
And especially Asian parents, like, I know this is gonna sound stupid, but Asian parents definitely push their children to do good in school. And that there are thousands of statistics to back me up on that. But yes, it is a stereotype. But at the same time, stereotypes are based off of some fact. Okay, no, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to offend anybody. But you know how people say, "Oh, black people only eat fried chicken." That is fundamentally wrong. But it comes from the fact that fried chicken was invented by black people in the South in like the 1930s.
And they brought it everywhere after slavery.
All right. So can I just let's go back to the topic of dreams. So I remember I watched this one video where they said that dreams are just like gateways where you could see to alternate realities, and I like to think about that. Like I like to think that somewhere in an alternate reality, one of myself, like another, like what's the name for it? A doppelganger of me has graduated Harvard with a PhD.
Oh, I was just. Oh, yeah. Have you guys ever had those moments where you just have like this random revelation and it like changes your worldview? I'll give you 2 examples of that happened to me.
Oh yeah.
So one day I was in the shower, right? Yep. And you know those like parts of your body that are difficult to move, and you have to like think about it to do it. Right. So there was this like point on my leg that I was trying to move, right? Yeah. And like flex, and I thought that like this is crazy. And then I moved my fingers around. Okay, everybody in the podcast, look at your hand.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Now move your fingers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't it crazy that you do not have to think about moving your fingers, yet you are still controlling it and doing exactly what you want, yet you don't have to think about it? I didn't
I
think
mean-
about moving my fingers at all. It just happens. It just happens, yet I'm still controlling it.
What do you mean by not thinking about it? Because like, to pick up a pencil and write, you have to be like, okay, I need to write this. I
Yeah,
mean,
but-
you don't think move
Like-
finger or move hand 5
Yeah,
inches
and
forward.
I also have to think about doing this.
Ouch.
Okay. But like, I had another revelation where I was walking home from school and I looked at the moon, and you know in those cringy YouTuber videos where they have like a drone zoom out?
Oh, those.
I did that, but it zoomed out all the way up until the moon, and it was crazy that I'm floating on this massive sphere on an endless journey throughout the universe where I will eventually meet my death. My life will most likely never equate to anything. In reality, my life will have zero effect on the universe.
Well,
It'll eventually
realistically,
come to a
almost
heat.
everyone does, right?
Realistically, no life has an effect on the universe. I'm not saying that lives are unimportant. They very much are. But the fact
Why?
is, the universe will eventually meet its death, and there's nothing that can stop that.
That's crazy to think
Hold
about.
on. Can I just talk to chat real quick? Yes, we could see chat. I already answered that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so what's the chat saying?
They're just like, yeah, can you guys see chat? Can you guys see chat?
Hold on.
And
Yeah,
then
hold on.
my
Let me
man,
get on my
the
phone.
big gay, says, I had a dream where I was at school and some kid brought a gun to school.
What? Big gay.
Oh my god! Wait, what are you doing? No.
Wait. Are you guys on YouTube chat?
Yeah, the
Yes,
YouTube chat.
and you're
Yeah,
moving the.
Is it Twitch chat
I
doing
could
anything?
see the live dashboard now.
Yeah, and then I switched
It's
back
actually-
because there's a slowdown. All right, let's go back.
Yo, okay. Do you guys want to continue with like the sciencey stuff, or do you guys want to go into like politics?
Why not? Why not? We have like until 11 or 10, whenever
Yeah.
we want to stop this. All
I'm
right.
kind of dumb when it comes to science, honestly. I mostly speak out of my
Wait,
head.
hold on.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so
The-
wait. Can I just?
Scott, do you have any irrational fears?
Irrational
back to this.
fears.
Yeah.
I
do you have
mean- Not necessarily, but like when I'm alone, I'm like, okay, I hear something. Is that someone? Like just playing so many games, you know, getting
Jeez.
used to your directional hearing. Like, okay, someone's right over there. I'm gonna look over there. You know?
Scott, what are you doing with your mic? Oh
No,
wait,
but
no,
that-
that's not you.
But you're not actually scared,
No,
are you?
no. I'm like, Jesus, what was that? And I'm like, oh, it's nothing. Okay.
But what I mean is like irrational fears that will never hurt you. I think a very common one is being scared of the dark.
Yeah. Like, what's the dark gonna
Wait,
do? You
wait,
have your
wait.
teddy
I
bear.
want to ask you guys a question. So back when you were younger, like when you go downstairs for, like, to get some water or something, and the
I
lights
would
were
never
off.
dare to go downstairs. I'm freaking
Even
Momo.
if someone was in the house, if I was in a room by myself, I'd be like, God, is someone's gonna come in here? He's gonna shoot me.
Right.
I
So,
know,
so
like-
let me
Okay,
just
here.
yeah.
For the
Okay.
thing is, rational things that would hurt me, I'm not scared of. But irrational things like monsters or freaking Momo scares me.
Dude.
So let me get back to the point here. Back when you guys were younger, like for example, say at like 10, 11, 12 p.m. and everybody in your family's upstairs and going to bed and stuff. Did you ever, like when all the lights were off and you were the last one downstairs, did you ever have to like run up the stairs because you thought someone was
Oh
chasing
my god,
you?
yeah. Like, okay, here's what you do. You click the light and you freaking sprint as hard as you
Yeah,
can.
that's what
still
everybody
do that.
does.
I still do that.
Dude, I still do that too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
especially like my dad tells me. to
Actually,
take
no,
out
I
the
don't. You guys are babies.
Oh. Shut up.
I had a thought and I just forgot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Whatever.
We'll get back to your
Are you
thought
guys-
later.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe in a god?
No.
No. Like I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm atheist. Like I'm down
Oh.
to believing in religion if
Well,
like
same.
evidence is put forth.
Okay,
But-
I'm very much into religion, but the thing with me is that I don't really believe in a god. Back in the day, I've already talked about this in the other podcast, but God was used to explain things that we could not explain.
I mean,
Right.
Now, some people say we have no need, but there
Because-
is. People need something to cling on to in times of need. Okay, what? Oh, that was
I'll
crazy.
try
I forgot to hold on. I forgot to tell you guys about this. So one time I was like last year, right?
mhm.
Maybe last year, I was my dad said he was coming home late, and he ended up coming really like 10 o'clock late, right?
Maybe last
Right.
And for some reason, I thought he's gonna get in a car
my dad
crash.
said he was coming home.
I don't know
late.
why,
Oh,
but
dude,
and
that happens a lot. Like,
Like,
I know
I-
I'm gonna get in a car
ended up
crash, that's
coming
why I'm gonna be
really
late.
I don't know why. Like I really thought, like really, I don't know. I started freaking crying, man. And in times like that, I found myself
Like,
calling
I know I'm
out to
gonna get
a
in a car
god
crash,
that I
really,
apparently
like,
don't believe in.
I don't know why.
Right? That happens all the
Like I
time.
really thought. Like,
Well, you see it all in
really,
pop culture and movies. People saying, "Oh God, please help me," and things like that, right?
Which
That's what sticks in our minds. But it's weird how we immediately call up to this higher being for help if it doesn't exist.
I mean, so let me just back to your earlier claim. So here's my point. Here's a point I'm trying to make here. There is more proof. There's basically no proof of religion, but there's a ton of proof for science to exist. But yet some religious people are still saying that science is fake or whatever.
I mean,
and that
I
no
don't
one
believe
trusts
it. I
in
don't
God.
believe in. Scott, go ahead. It's okay.
Religion is like why we pursued science to like help us get closer to this God or help us explain what God is doing.
So I remember I think it's Mr. Wu. He was like, science is the pursuit of knowledge in the universe.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, everybody says that. That's like a top 10 quotes.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we pursue that knowledge to try to find God.
I
That's why we
don't
started
believe in
all of it.
people who say science is fake. That's
That's
definitely
dumb.
wrong.
That's dumb.
Anti-vaxxers.
Oh my god. You want to get into this? Yeah,
No. We're
Did you
not
guys
getting
know
into
that,
this. We're not getting
No,
into this.
we're getting into this.
All right, fine. Let's get into this. This is gonna take up the
Guys,
entirety
okay,
of the
so I
stream,
found-
but sure.
I found 4,000 things of research that say vaccines don't cause autism, but I found one that says it does, so it means it causes autism.
Oh wait, have you
Okay,
watched
so-
that one video where that Australian dude went up to
Yeah,
people?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was watching this video where this Australian guy goes up to this anti-vax parade,
Yeah.
and he was like, one thing anti-vaxxers say is that thousands of doctors believe in not vaccinating their children.
Right. So
And they
first,
say that thousands of doctors support them. So he went there and he interviewed every single person.
Not
and
a single
Well, not
doctor.
one
every
said
single
that they were
person. He
a
just
doctor.
goes up to them. It's like,
And at the
hey,
end
you a
it said
doctor?
it said 400 idiots, 0 doctors.
I mean,
it was actually
really,
morons.
what's
Such-
probably
Dude,
happening?
you need your doctorate to be taken away if you think that vaccines are bad.
Yeah. Maybe some, like, in development are, but
Okay.
but they still don't
Yeah, that
cause
was
autism.
silent. That was silence.
Do you guys want to talk about gun violence relating to violent games?
Oh, don't get me started on that. I used that topic for a protest thing in the exploratory. The teacher didn't
how
even come
about
up with a
no?
counter argument to that.
Okay, it's like saying anyone who knows how to swim is a school shooter.
Yeah.
That's
It's
fundamentally
Or
wrong.
saying everyone
There
that has
are-
watched Infinity War is going to collect all of the Infinity Stones and snap their hand.
Okay, so like it's like saying that, and because millions of other people know how to swim, but just because this one guy knows how to swim, doesn't mean that everybody else is violent.
Now I'm about to
Yeah.
use something from a Bulletberry video, but here's the thing: people blame gun violence on something that's completely unrelated to it, because it's in human nature to pin the blame on something.
That is true. If there's nothing to pin the blame on, what do? You're sat there and
Humans tend to not want to solve the problems, but just like appoint it to something like it's your fault rather than actually trying to fix the problem.
I mean, in reality, if you say that gun violence is related to violent video games, it's like saying if you see a John Wick movie where John Wick shoots a person, you're being influenced by that. Like,
John Wick
Okay.
3 Paranormal.
well, you are being influenced by it, but it's not gonna make you go out and kill somebody.
and hold on. Let's just take the time to pay respects to PewDiePie for something.
Okay, I was about to mention that.
Yeah, terrorists.
You can. No, to people who don't know what it is, can you guys Explain it.
Is the mosque shooting, right?
Yeah, in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, do I really have to explain this? No, you guys gotta explain this.
No, I'm not gonna explain it. Scott.
So
Scott,
pretty
you're,
much this.
you're the guest. Explain.
Okay, so pretty much the person that shot up the mosque was like, "Oh, subscribe to PewDiePie, or else I'm gonna kill
I mean, he
more
mentioned
people."
a ton of other YouTubers in there, but you know what? The
Yeah.
media, the media's always like,
It's just a media.
Yeah, but
Here's PewDiePie.
Dude, the media.
Article.
Okay. So does that mean that the people who say that PewDiePie caused a mass shooting, that is wrong?
can we
That's
get
The
a
guy was
same-
gonna
it's-
can we
it
get
is
a
the guy was
literally-
gonna shoot up the mosques anyways.
It is literally the exact same thing as the violent video games cause
yeah.
violence.
Can we get an F in the chat for the victims of the shooting and PewDiePie?
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah,
awful.
Everybody who's watching, please type F.
Like, I wish we could have caught him.
Yeah. Nope.
It's really impossible to catch.
Why is
people.
nobody spamming F? So people spam F.
I don't think anyone's in chat really.
Three are watching. I bet they're like doing something else.
Yeah, let me just give an F in their chat.
Yeah, let me get an F. Okay.
No, two are watching because Scott's one of them.
And I'm not one of them.
Okay, so let me check your Twitch stream and see how it's doing. Crap, I can't even log into it.
Okay,
Shoot.
so you guys want to
Let me
continue?
check Twitch.
Sure, let's continue.
What should we start up on next? Let me think.
Eric, didn't you say you
Sutchin, nobody
had
is
to
watching your
fix
podcast.
American the American
Eric, you realize that you're not.
school system?
Eric,
What?
you're showing the Twitch. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Eric, go back to the.
I
thing.
have.
Yeah, you're showing it on stream. You're not supposed to do that.
You're so stupid, Eric. Now we're
Shut
gonna have.
up.
What do you mean, Asha? Dude.
All right,
are
let's
you really-
carry on. Carry on. Is anybody gonna bother? Yes, they are. But
But about the mosque shooting, the guy was gonna shoot up the mosque regardless, but subscribe to PewDiePie, right?
yes, let's just take the time to subscribe to PewDiePie.
Can we not? Okay, so what next?
Hmm.
Scott,
Let me
are you
propose my-
into? Are you? Oh yeah, go ahead, Eric.
No. You talk first. I'm gonna wait. I'm
No,
gonna save it for the
go
end.
ahead.
I'm gonna save it for the end of the podcast.
Nice segue, guys.
Okay. What was your first video game console?
Xbox
The Wii.
360.
I think PS1.
Xbox 360.
Yeah,
No.
the Wii. Unless you count PC, then Wii.
Well, do mobile devices count?
No.
All right, so Xbox 360.
Yeah. Honestly, okay, like, oh, have you guys? I think there is a name for this. If there isn't, I want to make it. Things that are okay. Let me give you an example. For example, a pencil. You can do absolutely anything with it, but you need to learn how first. Or a guitar. You can do
Oh.
anything with it, but you have to learn how first.
Yeah.
There has to be
yeah.
some kind of name for that, right?
Hey,
Did you
use your word dissection skills to try to make a name for it.
shut up?
It's called believing.
What? How?
Alright, let's start with politics.
All right.
This is gonna
Yeah.
be fun.
Just.
Alright,
All right. Hold
Scott,
on. Before we start, viewer discretion is advised. If you really hate
no liberals
politics
allowed.
or any of that kind of stuff, just click away now.
Okay,
If we
so
hurt your feelings with our opinions, then grow a pair.
Yep.
okay, so recently, Trump banned people of the LGBTQ community from serving in the military, and liberals recently have been using this claim to say that Trump is anti-LGBT. He's
Yeah.
not. It's doing that is not preventing the people living their lives the way they want. The suicide rate of LGBTQ people is 61%, and in the military, it's a very psychological thing. It's a very physical and psychological thing.
Yeah.
You can't be having
Like-
people who are going to be sad out there on the field.
Yeah, there's a study that shows like once most vets are done serving, they kill themselves not because they're sad, but just because they have nothing left to do. They're like, well, got nothing to do. Goodbye.
Oh, you know the Coronado Bridge? A ton of veterans have committed suicide from that
Oh
bridge.
yeah.
Okay, so you know who else is also banned from the military? Colorblind people. But people won't say that it's discrimination of colorblind people, but yet they'll say it's discrimination of LGBTQ people.
Right.
And honestly, I think people who think that are really just uninformed. And I used to be this way in like fifth grade.
Yeah.
I used to I didn't consider myself a liberal, but I would like have liberal things, and I would be very uneducated. If anyone even like said, "Oh, that's gay," I'd get pissed. But
Alright.
Yeah.
it's
Like my
jokes
thoughts on the
like that.
LGBTQ plus community is like, yeah, okay, just do your thing. Just don't rub it in my face. The moment someone's homosexuality becomes their personality, I'm like, okay, you're weird. Go away. Like
So
all they talk about is, oh yeah, I got a 10-inch up my. I don't know
Tom.
if I can even say that. Yeah.
No, you cannot say that. Stop talking.
Okay, so recently a gay couple made a man. Okay, so they went into this cake shop, right?
Yeah.
And they asked this guy. They were like, "Hey, can you make us a cake?" And he was a hard Christian, and he said that was against his Christianity. So he
Yeah.
said, "No, I'm not going to do that." He asked them politely, yet they went to the police, and now this man has lost his entire business, and he's home. And he lost 40% of his business. 40%. Imagine that. 40% of your income gone. How is he supposed to put food on the table for his wife and kids? How is he supposed to pay the rent?
Right. It's like you can do whatever you want with your own life. Like a business owner has the right to refuse service from to anybody.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, recently I've been seeing things where if something is racist to a black person, it is more racist than it is if something is racist to a white person.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think white people suffer to the most racism right now, at least.
Right
I
now,
think
at least.
okay, I don't want to trigger anybody. Recently, I've seen black people being very like getting mad over very small things that are not even racist.
Right?
Yeah, they
Hey,
pretty
Like
much.
in our school, I did this in sixth grade like an idiot.
yeah.
And like for example, if a teacher picks on them because they're um like not very well behaved, they'll instantly say racism,
Yeah.
even though it could be a slew of other things.
No, it's never because of racism,
Never. It's a very, very small percentage of it is racism.
and those teachers should be fired.
Yes. And most of the time they are. And people are overlooking the fact of all the good things in the world. Like, okay, so in 2015, I think it was 2015, sometime like that, like 2 people died from Ebola, yet
Yeah.
every single news network covered it. But hundreds of
2014 was the big outbreak. Right?
yeah, and like thousands and thousands of people died from the flu, but they didn't cover that.
Because we have flu shots and it solves everything.
No, actually, vaccines cause autism.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, guys, vaccine causes autism, even though autism is actually caused in the gene before any vaccines have been taken. Actually, I'm a doctor. I read one article by BuzzFeed.
Oh!
BuzzFeed.
Wow.
Dude, stop manspreading.
Also,
bro.
I'm gonna dye my hair red because women power.
I'm gonna dye my hair blue and go on Tumblr.
Okay, we should stop going.
We're about to
Yeah.
get demonetized.
I mean, we're not monetized in the first place.
Well, true.
Huh.
Hey,
We're about
subscribe
to get
to PewDiePie.
flagged by YouTube.
Okay, so what now?
Nobody better report these videos.
Yo,
Please
Eric,
don't, please don't.
what was that thing you were gonna bring up earlier?
Oh yes.
The,
So I was
American
thinking
school
about this earlier today because I'm always just whenever I'm bored, I think of the most random stuff. All right.
Yeah.
So how would I explain this?
You
Voice
should have thought
crack.
about
So
that.
yeah, let's start.
I want to explain this.
Oh shit, child. So
All right.
here's
yeah.
here's what I was gonna say. I call it education through communication. It's a little topic I thought to myself earlier today. I thought it'd be a good fit for a schooling system. So here's how it works. In elementary school, the teachers teach you about the many wonders of our world and what careers you can have in this world. All right? Like that's all they teach you. They don't teach you anything else. They just teach you that. And then during
Can I
more,
pause you right there?
yeah.
Honestly, they can make a better schooling system by just cutting out all the useless stuff.
All right.
Like
Social studies.
Sutchin,
Yes, social studies.
I'm about to get there. So here they expose you to like many different job opportunities and topics to help you. And then during those like 5 or 6 years, parents help students choose like what they want to be. Like they decide because
that's too early, dude. You can't choose what
Yeah.
you want to be in elementary school.
what do you like? How would I say it? You can
For most kids, for most kids. For me, it would.
For me, I've already decided. I've already decided.
Yeah, me too. I decided since third grade.
Yeah, everyone in elementary school is
Alright.
like, oh, I'm gonna be a cop, I'm gonna be a doctor, I'm gonna be a firefighter.
So I'm talking about like what sparks their interest in things. Like we would expose students to like many different things. Like for example, science. They would expose them to astronomy, not quantum physics.
Yeah.
Astronomy.
Physics in third grade.
Yeah. Hey,
Dude,
hey, son.
honestly,
What
if
did
you don't know
learn in
quantum
school today?
physics by
Quantum
kindergarten,
physics?
you're brain dead.
I learned about Planck's law and how you can see it measures the photon energy by E equals
Sutchin.
h times v.
Sutchin.
V being the frequency of the photon and h being Planck's constant.
Okay.
If you multiply those together, you'll get the energy of a photon. This can be used in many different ways, from determining the radius of a black hole.
Sutchin, stop being so sweaty.
Alright, fine.
Didn't expect
Alright,
that to
fine.
happen. All right. So here, they expose them to many different types of opportunities, job opportunities. Like for example, they would if they want like 5 years of being exposed to many of these things. Like you can be a mathematician, explore math. You can be a scientist, explore the knowledge. Be a historian if history interests you. So during like middle school, preteen years, they decide a major if they want to. They decide like what they should choose. Like for example, if someone wants to go in the field of science, they choose science. If someone wants to study more about history, they choose history.
I don't think this should be the American schooling system. I think there should be like a test to get in a schooling system this. For example, we don't want like.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give any names, but you guys know what I mean.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you're right. We should put a testing system to this to show like what students are most interested in. They get This would theoretically decrease the percentage of dropouts in schools.
Yeah.
Yeah, because students are more
Because
interested in what they
You're required to do things you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like, I actually hate social studies.
I know everybody.
If I want to be an engineer, why would I need to learn about social studies?
You don't. Okay, social studies is totally useless. Yeah. Okay. So I was asking an adult the other day.
Yeah,
I was like, why should we learn about social studies? What use does it have in our lives? And she said, if you're at dinner, it's nice to talk about those things. And
All
I'm
right,
like,
Sutchin.
I don't care about that. I'm talking about career choices.
Sutchin.
Eric, the next time you interrupt me, I won't hesitate to strangle you.
Oh, Sutchin, I dare you to try to reach it over the internet and try to do that.
Short
Dude,
boy.
actually, stop interrupting, though.
Shut it. Hey,
Stop
you were
playing.
interrupting me. I'm about to get to the point where I'm explaining that part.
This is every other podcast, I swear.
No,
Alright.
this is just this one. All right, tell me what you want to say.
Mysteries of Math.
No, go ahead. It's alright.
All right. So, why I call it education through communication is because once they choose their major, they stay in that major for what? How many years? 8? No, not 8. 7 years until they graduate high school, and then they go to college where they study that major even more. And once they study that major, they'll be a complete expert in that. But there are 2 other courses you are required to take: math and language arts. Because language arts.
That's right. That's
Language arts is like
Language
the
arts is
only
the
one
part-
I feel should be mandatory.
Language arts is the part of education through communication, and math. You need to learn math to do like basic things.
Yeah, that's true.
So these 2 things, and then history. Why history, social studies? Why would we need that? So, like
Jesus.
students take a test. They choose what they want to become. They choose what to major in, and they choose, and then the teachers teach that. All right.
Right.
For the next 7 to what? How many years? They're only taught that language
And
arts
they
and
don't
math.
have to go to college for like the normal
Exactly.
amount of time.
So-
Dude, that would actually work very well.
So, and this will decrease the rate of dropouts by a lot because students are more interested in, and they will improve grades because students are only doing what they're interested in, and not useless
Yeah.
stuff. GPAs, better GPAs. So now I'm moving
Yo,
on to that.
Sutchin, hold on.
Alright,
Marco
Scott.
wants to be on the podcast.
Tell him next week,
Tell him no.
or no, that works too.
Marco's not a big brain. We need only big brains on the podcast.
All right, so now we get into the education through
Okay, got it.
communication part. Communication part. What is the main reason that separates humans from animals? Like, why are we so developed and humans aren't, and other animals aren't?
Well, the way that humans evolved, like, we sacrificed a lot of power for
No. I'm talking about like from
intelligence.
Scott. I'm talking about like from the very basics of society, from the very roots of society. Why?
No, allow Scott to continue. He had a good point.
All right.
Okay,
keep
so
speaking.
the way they evolved was most animals, say like a lion,
Yeah.
they're pretty dumb, I'd say, right?
Yeah.
But they're really strong. Humans are like the exact opposite, and it pretty much paid off because now we have 2-ton flying machines.
Okay, so you guys know how intelligence is measured. Not IQ, but for all animals.
How?
It is not brain size. It is brain to body mass ratio.
Uh-huh.
For example, a blue whale has a massive brain, but because of its ratio to its
Big
body
brain.
mass, it is absolutely, I'm not going to use that word, but dumb.
Dumb head.
It's an absolute dum-dum. But our brain to body mass ratio is pristine, perfect,
All right.
beautiful.
So allow me.
But it's also not good if like 90%.
And it's not just that, it's also our sacrifices and time for evolution.
All right. Allow me to keep on making this point. One of the key factors to how we evolved is an advanced form of communication. Sure, other animals communicate, but we have a very advanced form of communication. This is why, and communication is key to society. Without communication, where will we be? A bunch of mutes walking around the place.
And I recently have learned the magic of language. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. Like when I was little, my mother tongue is Tamil.
Yeah.
Which is the oldest language ever.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yep, I know, very cool. And it was my mother tongue. And like it's I was never interested as a kid, but recently I learned how intricate and easy it is to, okay, so you know in English, right?
Yeah.
The way a word is spelled is not how it's said most of the time.
Yeah.
And that makes learning English extremely confusing for foreigners.
Yeah.
But with Tamil, the way a word is spelled is exactly how it sounds. There are no special rules. It's very simple.
Like Vietnamese is kind of like that too, but we have all those dialect marks,
And
and every single word is one syllable.
Cool. So let me continue on this. Communication, it's what humans are great at. So, based on this, students after they graduate college, they're experts in their majors, all right? And so at a dinner party, like what you said, Sutchin, I was talking to an adult about this too, and they were like, but you have to, at dinner parties and stuff. Dinner parties, students or adults exchange information about their majors, and in turn, through communication, they learn about other people's majors, and they don't have to spend countless hours just sitting in a classroom learning about this.
Honestly, it's saddening that a country as big and prestigious as America has me. I have probably spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours learning useless information that I will never use.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
So
ever.
So
I've
this is
spent
my
hundreds of hours. I've spent a fragment of my life that I am never going to get back learning this useless information.
Yeah, like
this.
okay, so like
Okay,
like
wait, you
time
guys know
trackers on
you guys know
games,
the
right?
preposition song?
Oh my
You know that
god.
song? You about a course after. Like I'm applying for a job, right? Because I gotta put food on the table for my kids and family and
Yeah.
my wife.
All right, so what
And
are
they're
the
like,
prepositions?
all right,
Tell
so
me right now, and you don't get the job.
do you know what the preposition song from 7th grade is? You're out. Literally, no one is going to ask you that.
Dude, I might put if I ever become
Yeah.
a management thing, I might add that in just to mess
Just
with
to
them.
meme
But
on some
I'm not
kids,
I'm not
dude.
actually gonna make it like count towards their interview, but just to like catch them off guard and just in case they made the same argument as us.
Honestly, it's really sad that I'm never going back.
I mean,
Like
It's gone.
you guys all had a Wii before, right?
oh no, I didn't.
Oh, but you know how like when you play a lot of games, it's like why don't you take a break?
Oh, those, yeah, those,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like that's pretty much how I feel about like social studies per se. Like you have spent 3,570 hours in social studies. Why don't you take a break? I would like to, but I can't.
So Sutchin
Honestly,
and Scott.
that's the great part about private schools. But my parents, they just don't want to. They don't want
I
me
mean,
to.
private schools are really pricey too.
So Sutchin, Scott. This is the part where I get into the education. Well, I've already gotten into the communication part, but communication makes things interesting, and in turn, people learn things much quicker through communication in like better environments. Like for example, at a dinner party, you have nothing to talk about, so you start talking about your majors. So say you're I don't know, a mathematician, and you're talking to a historian. You share a lot of advanced parts of math that maybe this historian doesn't know, but the historian, they share his history, things about history that you don't know. But you're both learning, and in turn, you can learn a lot of stuff from communication instead of having to sit through classes about these
And
types of things.
another thing is there's an infinite amount of intelligence to be gained online.
Oh yeah.
I've learned so many things from watching YouTube.
Like you type
many.
in one thing and you got 2 billion results.
Exactly.
Literally.
Some of them
And-
are troll sites, but that's not the point.
Yeah, very, very small amount. Okay, so
Unless you're looking for them.
what are we talking about?
School and stuff.
Yeah, I know. But I was talking oh yeah, there's a massive amount of intelligence to be gained online. And I've learned a lot of things from watching YouTube and learning about how people are supposed to act in certain situations. And I have an example.
Don't laugh at a funeral.
For example, my grandfather,
Hmm.
all his friends are like freaking millionaires and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like I went to this one of his friends' house, and he has a tennis court, a basketball hoop, a basketball court,
Jeez.
and 2 pools in his backyard.
So basically,
So
Michael's
and
house.
no,
Michael
and
from
like
GTA's house.
stop, but a lot bigger. So then like my grandfather always talks about the most interesting things. I don't know where he gets these topics, but they're so interesting. And I guess when you're 78 years old, you got a lot to talk about. You got a lot of memories.
Oh yeah. Like my uncle's dad, right? I went to his house in Vegas and he has a lazy river, water slide, and waterfall in his backyard that he pretty much built himself. Insane.
Jeez.
Dude,
So-
being retired is going to be so awesome.
Sutchin.
Sitting at home, reading a nice book.
Or maybe Sutchin goes on his computer at 66 years old, opens up Minecraft. Yo, guys, you wanna play Bed Wars?
Yo, gets on OBS. Hey
60
guys, today we're going to be playing some Bed Wars.
Minecraft, this is a game from like what, 50 years ago?
66-year-old man plays Minecraft.
Dude, honestly, I think VR is the
Future?
future of video
Yeah.
games.
Oh, have you
And then-
seen Minecraft VR?
Oh,
Oh,
have
like,
you seen
glitchy-
Ready Player One? They had like an Easter egg, or they had like a Minecraft world in it.
Yeah.
Dude, Minecraft VR, dude, in Bed Wars, that'd be really awesome.
No, what you could do is you can move yourself past the door and hit mobs outside of a door, but they can't hit you. It's insane.
Fun.
Very fun.
And you could actually use 2 pickaxes.
All right. Do you guys have any more topics, or would you like to end the podcast?
I could get in more detail
like,
about my little
That's
thing.
like the entire thing.
Then continue, Yang.
All right. So here's my my little education system that I call education through communication. Someone come up with a new name for that.
That's
Seriously.
a nice name, actually.
So communication, you communicate, you learn things. And so before that, so if you communicate and you learn things, and students are more interested in these things, classes can be more compact and you can actually learn, and like afterwards, students can have more time to like take on hobbies after school, and they can also learn about things like taxes. And
Oh yeah.
Honestly, most students' lives are 90 like after school. Most of the time, I'm feeling stressed.
Yeah.
Because of my
There was a
and it
lot
doesn't
of
get any
crunching.
better. It doesn't get any better in school. And I was watching this video. Stop! I was watching this video about classic rock and how classic rock talks about how life kind of sucks, but it's okay. Continue on, you know.
Yep.
Wait,
Someone
okay,
in the
so-
chat, I want you to come up with a counter argument to my little system. I want you to come up with a counter argument that can counter everything I've just said. And if you have to, go through the live stream again and look through it. Make a counter argument and DM me it on Discord. My Discord tag is sincerepuppet6. I'll type that in the chat right now.
Eric, stop advertising and continue.
No.
What, I was gonna say like a lot of different
DM
kids
that.
learn in different ways. Like some kids say learn from textbooks and technology, while others can learn more from their peers.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can learn more from a human being than a million books.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Thus making the point, education through communication.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Sutchin, maybe if we try, we could probably get this thing to not just be an idea but be an actual schooling system.
I guess we need to act now.
Do you want to?
No. Alright, guys. Do you guys want to end it now?
We have gotten to know politics, and that's like a big part of the
We kind of did.
I mean, a little.
All right. I will go into a lot more depth once I've worked out like smaller details of this little system. But for now,
Alright,
guys.
everybody.
Yeah. Bye. It was a fun
Alright, everybody.
podcast. Bye bye.
Hope you enjoyed.
Yeah.
We're gonna be streaming again next Saturday. Some Sundays we'll have something called a bonus podcast.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Alright, everybody. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Conservative Scott. And yeah,
Bye.
see you guys next week or tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Next week, guys.